Okay, here's a new way, maybe an easier way to do daytime running lights on an NSX. I found a way where you don't have to run a wire to the inside of the car. There's actually a switched power place under the front hood. And so that's kind of cool. So this is in the main fuse box under the hood. And these 5 large fuses, so if you don't know what you're doing, don't be trying to do this. Like, these are not instructions on how to do it. I'm just telling you how I did it. You've got to have experience with car wiring and electrical so you don't burn your car down or your house. Anyway, so these 5 high amperage, these are fuses, and the 4 to the right they're on all the time. They're hooked directly to the battery. So you do not want to have a ring on or Mr. T starter kit or anything and touch one of these. But this last one, all the way to the left, is the power for the windshield wiper system. And that's switched power directly from the ignition switch. This is a 40 amp fuse. So what I've done is I've tapped into the input of that 40 amp fuse, and I've put a little fuse holder here. And this is just, these wires are just kind of wedged in between these fuses here, and it holds us in place. I wouldn't take a lot of power off this. I wouldn't run 2 quartz halogen lights, you know, pulling 20 amps or something. I put a 3 amp fuse in here. It's fine for the DRLs I'm using. Anyway, so then I just have it come out of the fuse box. I had to cut a little notch, yeah, in the fuse box cover so it could get out. And then anyway, you've got switched power. So I have that routed down actually to the turn signals. And what I did, so you could take the switch power from there and run it to standalone DRLs. And when you turn the car on, they would come on. When you turn the car off, they would go off. That would be the easiest way. You could also use that power and you could rewire your parking lights, which are the outer lights in the turn signal thing. And you could put bigger bulbs in there and use those for DRLs. What I did was I took the turn signals housings out, and I removed the amber lens from the inside, which is a huge pain in the ass. I think if I was doing it again, I'd cut it out. I'd cut an opening in the top and pull it out that way. Anyway, so without the clear in there, I then, you know, in the stock car, the turn signals are it's a single filament bulb, and it's just amber. So I got a couple of different sockets that are 2 filaments. So instead of 1156, they use an 1157 bulb, 2 things. And then I got switchback LED bulbs that are white and amber. So I'm using the white for my DRL. So when you turn the car on, I'll show you. Okay, so I just have the car switched. The ignition is switched on. I didn't start the car. So these are, they're brighter than they look in this little camera. You know, so those are the DRLs. And those, when you turn the car on, those come on. And when you turn the turn signal on, the way switchbacks work is that one, the white turns off and the amber turns on. Obviously the other one is still white. Then when you turn the turn signal back off, it returns to white. So anyway, I think this is a really clean solution. You don't have to run any wires into the interior of the car. I like the switchbacks, kind of a modern look. I also changed the parking light bulbs to LEDs, so when you have your parking lights on, they kind of match. Anyway, hope this is helpful for some guys.